Just got to hook this into the stand here and do some adjustments. Hopefully you'll all find me. As you probably are aware, I've been having a lot of trouble with YouTube and scheduling live shows, live classes. And so I have to just kind of go live and then hope it all works out. Typically it does. We are going to, there we go. I see myself. Bonnie's here. So yay, people are finding me. Great. I am looking pretty amazing for Halloween. I've got my ghost glasses on. I have my glow bracelets on. They're a lot of fun. I have my pumpkin shirt on, and I have a Halloween hoodie. So that makes me super happy. My iPad's wanting me to do something weird, and I don't want to do that. What is it doing now? Technology is sometimes the worst thing ever, right? My iPad is just like having a seizure or something. I'm not sure what's going on, but I need it to work so that I can see your comments when we get going here. What is happening? I had to come here from Facebook, like probably a lot of you did. And so when that happens, because Facebook is also such a wonderful platform to work with. Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this. Oh, this is just going to infuriate me to no end. I am so sorry, you guys. Technology is such a pain. Sign in. Maybe it's because I can't see through these glasses. These glasses are they're kind of the worst. Obviously I can't see out of them because I wear glasses normally, and these are not prescription lenses by any stretch of the word. And so, yeah. And I don't know what my iPad's doing. Is it going to make me? All right. Technology and me have not been getting along for quite some time now. And it's very frustrating, and I want to cry some of the time. I'm not going to, because that would be kind of embarrassing. But I tell you what. So yeah, so I'm glad you're liking my glasses. How about my bat ears? I know it's kind of hard to see the bat ears because of the angle of the camera. And then, if I guess I could push it up a little. If I made it just a little higher, then there's my bat ears. Aren't they cute? Okay, I'm going to try this again. I don't know why it's wanting me to sign in. I've never had to do that before on my iPad. Sign into YouTube when I've gone from Facebook to YouTube. It's never made me do that. So I don't understand why it's doing it to me now. It doesn't make any sense. Because usually I click on the thing and then I say open the app, and then everything's just fine. Oh, maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I hit cancel instead of open. Oops. So I hope you guys are going to have a great trick-or-treating night. Some of you, I'm sure, will be getting trick-or-treaters. I never do. We live in a kind of an off-the-beaten path cul-de-sac kind of thing. It's actually kind of a circle of homes in a little subdivision. And we've never had kids come to our house. When my kids were little, obviously, I wasn't home because I was out trick-or-treating with them. And then my husband usually works. But if he wasn't working, he wasn't a huge fan of the handing out the candy. So, and when the kids were really little, he would go with me. So yeah, but we really don't get any kids, although we've just had a couple of families move into the neighborhood in the past few years. So it's possible that I could get a couple, but I don't have any candy. So, because I thought, well, if I buy candy, and let's say I have 2 trick-or-treaters, who eats the rest of the bag? Me. And I don't want to eat the rest of the bag. Because as you guys probably are aware, Kelly and Dina were here last week, and we ate a lot of treats. We ate a lot of junk food, lots of treats. We did go walking a fair amount, but not enough to combat the amount of treats that we ate. So I am missing them pretty hard. When I came into my office Monday morning, there was nobody else here. It was very boring. But we did have a great time. We worked on a lot of things. My son came over from Buffalo to visit with them because he loves them as well. If only my daughter could have been here, then that would have been perfect. But of course, she's working now in Colorado. Oh, some of you guys are my Facebook friends. Some of you aren't. My daughter found out yesterday that she passed her final 2 CPA exams. Praise Jesus. So, and her brain, of course. So that is so exciting, you guys. So she took all 4 exams, passed all 4 of them on the first try. From what I understand from looking on the interwebs, only about 50% of people pass them on the first try. And some of the tests, the pass rate is even less than 50%. So yeah, so just kudos to her. I'm so proud of her and so happy for her. She started her job earlier this month, as I probably told you. She is liking it, and she is making some new friends. She's been hanging out with some people. She's gone to 2 Denver Bronco football games. She went to a pumpkin carving event with some coworkers last night. So she's just really, really finding her niche down there, and I'm really, really happy for her. So yay, but I do miss her tremendously. So she's planning to come home for Thanksgiving, so let's hope that the roads are good. I mean, I guess if she can't drive, she could always fly, because thankfully there is one, we have 3 flights in and out of Sheridan, Wyoming every day, and they all go to and from Denver. So that couldn't be more perfect for her to be able to come home. So yeah, so super exciting. She's very, very relieved, Joanne. She was kind of stressing about it just because, you just don't know, and you have to wait so long to find out, because she took the first test. So she just found out about the last 2. So the third test she had taken, I believe, in July. No, it must have been August. She must have taken it in August. And then the last test she took at the end of September, right before she moved. And so, yeah, so she had to wait 6-7 weeks after you take the test to find out, which is brutal. You're sitting there waiting, because of course, if you don't pass, then you have to go back and take it again. And yeah, it's kind of rough. But anyway, she did. So I feel really strange looking at myself in my camera with these crazy ghost glasses on. But anyways, what can you do? I kind of wish I had trick-or-treaters coming to my house, because then they could see me in all my Halloween glory, right? It is what it is. So I will just enjoy my Halloween glory myself. Probably not so much the glasses, because, like I said, I can't see out of them, because they don't have any prescription in them. But the bad ears are kind of fun, and they don't pinch my head like lots of those kind of headbandy things. They'll pinch your head, and it's very uncomfortable. I don't even know that they're there. So that's pretty fun. All right, what else do we have going on? My husband has been working again a lot. Saturday is like the last day that they're going to be able, that the Forest Service needs them to work extra time. So he will have put in about 160 extra hours this month, which is a lot. So he's happy to be done with that extra duty. And obviously a lot of it was volunteer. They didn't have to do it, but he's like, well, it's there, it's available. And he's working towards his retirement, even though he's already eligible to retire. You get more retirement the longer you go. So you start out at 50% each year. After that, up to 10 years, you can get an extra 2.5%. So, working more than your 20 is hopefully going to pay off. And of course, they base it on your highest, like the last 60 months of service. And so this will be a very high year for him. This month will be very high. So anyway, that was a long story and nobody even cares. But anyways, that's why he's working so much. And to help out, because, not everybody wants to work extra. Not that he wants to, but he feels like he should. So there you go. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. So there's anything else going on. Like I said, Dina and Kelly were here. We went to the Badlands. We went to Custer National Forest. We drove the Needles Highway. You may have seen some photos of us when we got to the Badlands. It was like Sunday evening. So it was late. It was about dusk. And so we walked over to this, it's a big rock formation, if you weren't aware of what it looks like. There's like lots of rocks, sandstone-y type rocks all over the place. And the fire is about 88% contained, Cheryl. So we're really, really, we've had some snow and some rain. So that's been really, really good for the fire. But they wanted to climb up on this kind of ledge, this kind of cliff looking thing. And then to look over, it's just, a deep hole, vast expanse of, I couldn't get up there. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to get up there because I cannot do that. For some reason, I could zip line in Mexico which I feel like must be different because when you're up at the top and you're looking down, all you see is trees. You don't really see like an open pit, you know, of scariness. It's just treetops that you see. But looking over the ledge of this thing, I was like, nope, can't do it. So they kept trying to coax me up there, and I was like, nope, Barb knows her limitations, and that is not happening. So I did not get up there, which is kind of a bummer for me, but it is what it is. So anyways, we did that. We went through the Custer National Forest. Oh my gosh, Trish, that was the funniest thing ever. Because I had checked, we had stayed overnight in a hotel on Sunday night, and I had checked in the morning for the peppermints to come because they were supposed to maybe come in on that Monday. That's like they say, you know, the week of whatever, but it's typically always on the Monday when they say. So I checked in the morning 2 or 3 times before we left the hotel, and they were not available. And so we're driving, we're literally in the middle of nowhere. If any of you are familiar with Wyoming, we were driving between Newcastle and Moorcroft. Newcastle has a population of maybe 2,000 people. Moorcroft has a population of 800. There's nothing in between those two things, but just open rangeland. So we're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I just pull up my phone and decide to check again. And we have spotty kind of service. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, the peppermints are available. Pull over. And Dina's like, oh my gosh, where am I going to pull over? So she literally just pulls over onto this little tiny, like an access road into somebody's property, but it was fenced, so you could just barely get a car there. So she pulls over, and we all whip out our phones, and we're frantically ordering these peppermint embellishments because we need them for our reindeer stamp camp, right? And so I got mine through, Kelly got hers through, and he's like, my thing is just spinning. It's just spinning. And I'm like, get out of the car and hold it up, you know? And she's like, she sticks it up into the windshield, and she's like, Starling, don't fail me now. And then it went through. So yeah, it was crazy how that all went down, but we all got our peppermints. So, you know, we do what we have to do. Even driving in the middle of nowhere on kind of vacation, we're still working hard. So yeah, that was the funniest thing ever. We were laughing our heads off. Yeah, they must call them a Badlands for a reason, Debbie, because it's scary. It was scary for me. But we saw some beautiful scenery. We saw some fun animals. We saw a ton of those little prairie dogs. And oh my gosh, those things are hilarious. They have burrows in this one section of the Needles Highway, and the burrows just are in the road. They just don't get out of the road. So you'd have to drive really, really slow, and you drive by them, and they literally don't care that you're there. They will stick their head in your car, which they did to Dina right at her window. They stuck this white burrow, stuck his head into the car, and she's like, you know, oh gosh, we laughed so hard. But we did get a lot of work done, and we had a lot of fun, so that was good. Okay, I'm going to quit that blah, 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 because I don't really have anything else to say. There's not a whole lot to say. Life is good, and we're just plugging along, right? So I'm going to flip the camera over and remove these glasses and put on some glasses that I can actually see out of. And then we will get to some stamping with the Winterly Treetops bundle, which is what I have chosen to do for my class today. And I hope you guys like it. I'm sure a lot of you have the Winterly Treetops bundle. A lot of you are probably demonstrators. And it was something that we could order a little bit of a pre-order before our event called Creativity Now, which was in June. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys have it. It's really a nice bundle. I didn't realize how nice it was until I actually started using it. I know that's crazy. I've only had it for, well, since I think June. And I just started using it, so good Lord. Anyway, that's what we're going to use. Oh, here's a comb if anyone needs a comb. Why do I have a comb out here? I am really not even sure. Okay, so for those of you that may not know, I do a 12 weeks of holiday ideas. I have been doing this for probably, excuse me. That was crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So I've been doing this for probably, I don't even know, 12 or 13 years. Maybe I've been doing a 12 weeks of Christmas thing. I feel like my camera is not, there we go. Anyway, so each week for 12 weeks, I send out a special tutorial in my newsletter. And each person, I do a collaboration with a few different demonstrators, and each of us spotlight a different bundle. And so there are 12 different bundles. Ooh, look, here's my glowy bracelets. Aren't they kind of fun? It's better if it's dark. You know what? I'm going to turn my lights off real quick just so you can see. It won't be super dark, but it might be darker. Nah, it's not too dark. But anyways, they're kind of fun. So anyways, I digress. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my 12 weeks of Christmas. So each week is a card and a 3D item that goes out to everyone on my newsletter list. So if you aren't on my newsletter and you would like to be, you can subscribe. In the description of this video, there is a link that says sign up for my newsletter. And then in each newsletter, I do have the links to the previous weeks. So if you just join like now and you get week 5, you can also get in to see weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's really fun. I have a lot of people that just look forward to it. Yeah, right, squirrel. I look forward to this every year. And so I love doing it. So there you go. Today is the final day to get in on the kits sale. If you were interested in that, we have a bunch of kits. They are all on sale. Some of them up to 30% off. And kits are wonderful. If you're looking for something quick and easy, or a gift for a friend, or maybe a grandkid, somebody who's in college, they're just really nice gifts. And they come all concise in a little box. And really the only thing you might need to complete them is a pair of scissors. And I feel like most people have a pair of scissors. So there you go. This is also the last day you can join my team and get that extra $30 in product in your starter kit. So today is the last day for that, and I would love to have you join my team. We have a ton of fun. We do a weekly demonstrator training call, and we do all kinds of things. It's not just for people running a business. It's just for if you want to learn how to take a photo of your cards, if you want to get card ideas, if you want to learn how to use all this technology that is in the world, we try to help you with that. Just all kinds of things. So I would love to have you join my team. Today's the last day. You've got a few hours left to make that happen if you're interested. Our reindeer stamp camp. Again, you're going to get peppermints in this reindeer stamp camp. And now we have all secured the peppermints. So that's pretty awesome. The link to register is in the description of this video. You can either get the swag box full of all kinds of goodies and some special treats, or you can just get the online only version, whatever works for you. My team members and Stamp Happy Academy members get discounts on either the swag box or the online only version. So if you are a member of Stamp Happy Academy or a member of my team, you can get a discount. I've been talking about this, and I am rewarding some prizes tonight in my VIP group. I've been having like a commenting challenge for people to do commenting on the various things that I've been posting, and it's been really fun to read the comments on there. And so I'm going to be giving away a couple prizes tonight later on after I'm done with this. I did give away a bundle yesterday to someone for participating in my card challenge on the group. So yeah, if you're interested in joining this, just a little bit of fun, click the link in the description. You just have to have purchased something from me, whether it be an online order in my store, whether it was a PDF file out of my blog store, whether it was retired items, whatever it was. You just have to have purchased something from me to get in. So there you go. Two-tone cardstock. Oh, the Halloween pack is back in stock. So I do have cardstocks available for you if you're interested in a sampling of our cardstock, two-tone cardstock, which has a lighter side. It's kind of a dark on one side and a lighter on the other. Here is a piece of garden green that I've been messing around with, which I do think is very cool. When you tear it, you do get that white edge. When you tear it towards you, you get a white edge. If you tear it away from you, then you won't get the white edge. So you can see how these kind of go together. And then if you flip it over, then you don't have the white edge on this side, but you do on this side. And you can kind of see the different tones, which I think is awesome. I really am excited to use this for layering. And I haven't done it yet. I keep forgetting that I have it because I'm so into getting out all these shares for everybody. But I think it's going to be really cool to have layering pieces. Like you'd have a white layer and then you'd put it on the dark green and then the light green. And I just think that is going to be the coolest way to do layering. You can also use a sanding block or sandpaper to rub off some of the whites once you emboss it. And then that gives a really cool look also. So I'm pretty excited about this stuff. And it is going to be part of our permanent collection. So we will be having all of our colors eventually will make it into the two-tone cardstock collection. Right now we just have a few. We have some assorted packages like you can see here, and then we do have some single packs. I think we have single packs of Real Red, Garden Green, Pool Party, and I think it's either Black or Early Espresso. I can't remember. But anyway, the assorted packs are kind of like, I feel like the way to go, just because that gives you a nice sampling. But if you get my two-tone cardstock share, you get a 6x6 piece, or sometimes multiples. Actually, I have a listing right here of how many you get, because it just depends on how many of each piece are in the collections. But you do get a nice selection of colors, and you do get a good quantity. So check that out. It's in the link is in the description. Good Lord, I cannot talk. Okay, so this is my online class for the month of October. It is ready to go. I've got just a few kits available. They're packed up and ready to roll. The cards are gorgeous, you guys. They're not all Christmas cards. They can be, but they don't have to be. And then we have an amazing box with some gift tags inside of it. So it's a great class. You're going to love it. Link is in the description. My class for November is going to be the Utterly Amazing, Utterly Adorable Sweet Collection, which is part of our online exclusives, which are going to be launching on Tuesday. So we thought this would be the perfect thing to do. I realize people are probably looking for Christmas card ideas, but you can get your Christmas card ideas in this class here, and then you can get ready for the new year and just like birthdays and what have you with this really cute otter collection. So that's going to be my class for November. I don't have the link in the description, but I will get it in there as soon as I am done with this video, and you can sign up. My host code for the next, I don't know, probably 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever, is going to be NQRF9U2R. I had to double check that. And when you order $50 or more in my online store, you're going to get a cardstock pack to make the 3 gorgeous cards that I have for you today with the Winterly Treetops bundle. If you order over $75, then you're going to get the kit and the Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. So that's really exciting. And if it's over $150, please do not use the code and take the benefits for yourself. When you do shop with me, I have also tutorials that I send out. Right now in October, if you order today, you'll get the Season of Elegance PDF. If your order is $50 or more, along with the Reindeer Fun tutorial. Now, if you wait and order tomorrow, the gifts change, and we have the Reindeer Days. It's a different collection of cards with different people. And then we also have the season, I guess it's opposites, because like this tutorial group we did Season of Elegance last month. This group did it. So this month we have Reindeer Days and Season of Elegance. So if you have these 2 bundles, you are going to get a ton of inspiration from me for them by ordering from me last month and this month, or I guess I should say October and November. Adhesive kits. These are great gifts, you guys. If you have a crafty friend, this is a great gift for your crafty friends. And I have 3 of these adorable little octopi, I'm not sure, left that my daughter made. So the next 3 people that order adhesive kits from me will get an octopus. The bags are different colors, but you get all kinds of adhesives in there, as you can probably see. You've got tear and tape, glue dots, liquid glue. There's a seal, adhesive eraser, ruler, glue or ink eraser. What else do we have? Oh goodness, I just whacked that. We have some dimensionals, sheet of mini, sheet of each size of black, and then I think a couple of the regular. So anyways, adhesive kits are great gifts, and you will love it. Now is the time I talk about Stamp Happy Academy. Stamp Happy Academy is amazing. Those of you that are already in there know how amazing it is. And one of my favorite things about Stamp Happy Academy is that all of our PDFs from all of our classes go onto the website, and everyone who is a basic or premium member or our team members have access to those files. If you are a premium member or a live only member, you get access to our 3 live classes that we do every month. And we kind of focus on techniques a little bit, using your designer series paper a lot, fun folds, and color combinations. And so this happens to be one of the cards that I made this month. This was one of the tutorials that I taught, and look how fun this is. So here's the front of this card. I used the sketched butterflies, and check that out. Is that not the most fun card you have ever seen? So another reason to join Stamp Happy Academy is we give you guys a lot of inspiration every single month. So check that out also in the description of this video. And Trish and Bonnie will tell you how amazing it is. Okay, so Winterly Treetops bundle. So as I mentioned, if your order is $75 or more, I will also include the Earth Tones Shimmer Gems. You will need the Winterly Treetops bundle, which is the stamp set and the set of dies to create the cards as I have designed them for you. So if you don't have these, this is a perfect thing to order from me to get your free kit. If you already have it, like some of you probably do, Stampin' Blends markers are heavily used in this class because, of course, there's gorgeous birds and greenery to color. So you could get some Stampin' Blends markers, or you could get some of that two-tone cardstock I talked about. One of my cards does use the Birchwood 3D folder, but I will do that for you. Okay, so that's something you don't have to have this to make the cards like I am making them. I will do this part for you, but you do need the bundle. Okay, so card number 1. Get all my goods out here. So for this card, I am kind of, the designer series paper that I chose isn't the Winterly Treetops paper, you guys. I chose the Regal Distressed Patterns, actually for 2 of these cards, because I love this stuff. So this is the pattern that I chose for this card. Is that not just gorgeous? This shimmery, it's kind of like a gold, kind of like a brass, but to me, it like matches crumb cake perfectly. So that's the color that I kind of paired it with, along with Pretty Peacock, of course. And so this piece of designer series paper is what is it, Barb? 3 3/4 by 5. And then, like I said, I will do this for you. So I used the designer tags. This is something that is still available in the online store. It's an online exclusive. It's not in the catalog right now. It was at one time, but then they moved it to the online store. So designer tags is the name of this tag set. This would be something you could get for your $50 because it's a really amazing tag set. I've done a lot of cards with this. I have a full class using this tag set on Stamp Happy Academy, as well as on my blog store if you just want the PDF for that. So this is the label. So I'm going to die cut that out of the middle of your crumb cake layer, which does measure 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to emboss it with the birch folder. Okay, so this is what you will get in your kit if you earn it for free. Then you're also going to get a inside layer. This is Pretty Peacock 5.5, 8.5, and then your inside piece of vanilla is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. So then you're also going to get some scraps of vanilla. I was going to say white, but it's not. And you're going to get a little scrap of Lost Lagoon. And there are 2 of these little foliage pieces in the die set. And so you're going to need to cut yourself 1 of each of those as well. So for our scrap of vanilla, I went ahead and stamped the birds, the 2 birds on the branches. And we're going to color them. So I didn't want to like full on color them and make it super difficult. So I kind of went a little bit easier, I guess. And I'm going to start out with some light Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to color just a little bit. Like I'm going to color their heads and part of their wings. So we are going to leave a little bit of white space on these birds, which hopefully looks good. Okay, and then I need to color this wing right here. And you know me, I'm a pretty simple colorer because I'm not very good at coloring. I've got my cheater piece over here. You probably saw it. Because I'm not very good at coloring, and so I'm not very good at it. So you're not going to get really fancy coloring from me, but you're going to get, you know, decent coloring, I guess. Or maybe I think it's decent. Maybe it's not. Who knows, right? Anyway, okay, so we've done a little bit with the light Lost Lagoon, and then I'm going to bring in my dark Pretty Peacock, and I'm just going to add a little bit of some accent work here, kind of where the stamp puts in the lines is kind of where I'm going to put in some dark. And I love that the stamps do that because it makes it a lot easier for me to color it. Okay, then we're going to bring in a light crumb cake, and I'm going to start just kind of adding a little bit of color here around this wing, and then I'm going to come over here and kind of get the underbelly of this one and a little more on the wing. Come around like that. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my dark crumb cake for the bird beaks. Get that. And I'm also going to do this branch in the dark. So we'll just kind of very easily kind of follow the lines here. Some of these branches are fairly skinny, so I'm going to try to be a little mindful of that and not get too crazy with the color. All right, I think that's decent enough. kind of looking at my cheater piece to see if I have it done the way I wanted it to be done, and I think so. Okay, and then we're going to do the berries. And on the berries, I'm going to do the dark Lost Lagoon. And we're going to do kind of the outer edges here of these berries. And some of them we will do darker, some of them we will do lighter. So I'll get that one. And then some of these we just need this little kind of, I don't know, these kind of look like olives to me, if I'm being honest. You know, if you didn't have the branches here, I feel like they would look like olives. Kind of silly. All right, we'll do that. And we'll come up here and we'll get these. And again, we're going to get like the little thing in the olive that you pull out. Maybe these two, this one and that. And then I'm going to bring in my light Pretty Peacock and kind of finish this. Oh, that one I should have gotten the inside, that one done. We will come back for that one. And I realize berries are not probably Pretty Peacock. But if you've watched me for any period of time, you know that real colors don't mean anything to me. I color things whatever color I need them to be to go with whatever vibe I'm feeling on my card. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, and I'm going to get those last little guys punched in. Okay, so then, of course, you would die cut this with the coordinating die, and then here is that piece die cut. So there we go. Ooh, somebody has a birthday. Oh, it's Teresa's husband's birthday. Well, Teresa's husband, happy birthday. That is awesome. I think it would be kind of fun to be born on Halloween because you'd get a lot of candy for your birthday when you're a kid. That'd be awesome. Okay, so we also needed a piece of vanilla that I don't have here. So let me cut that. I've got some scraps here, and it's supposed to be 3/4. Do I have it even written down here? No, I don't have it written down on my little list. So hold on, let me measure this piece. It's 3/4 by 3.5. So we will cut ourselves a little strip that is 3/4 by 3.5. There we go. So that's the piece that I need to do some stamping on. So I've got the sentiment here that says, "A friend like you brings me happiness." And I'm going to do that in some Pretty Peacock. Thanks, Francie. She's so sweet. All right, so I'm inking up the stamp, trying not to get ink all over my block because I am a very heavy-handed stamper, and that does happen to me. All right, so we are going to stamp this on this strip, hopefully straight. We shall see what happens. No. Try that again. That's why we love having two-sided paper, right? Two-sided cardstock is the best. Like I'm talking like it's a Stamp It Up exclusive or something, right? I think that's a little better. It's not perfect. Either one of them are perfect. That one's actually better. We're going to go with that one. Okay, so we kind of have what we need here. So let me go ahead and close up my ink. Also on this card, you are going to get a little sampling of our brand new Lost Lagoon soft cording. This goes with the Otter Suite. It is very pretty. It is very soft, and it makes great bows. So I have tied a bow using my soft cording here. So we're going to put that on our card as well. So you will get a little chunk of this to make your bow. All right, so we need to do a little bit of layering here and putting together. This is a pretty simple card, so I hope you guys like it. I love it. I love Pretty Peacock is honestly one of my most favorite colors. I just love using it, and pairing it with Lost Lagoon. Oh gosh, the two of those colors together are just absolutely amazing. They were meant to be together. All right, so we are going to center this as best we can. Sometimes my centering skills are lacking, but right now it worked out pretty good. Okay, so we're going to bring some dimensionals in, and we're going to add this to the layer of Pretty Peacock with some dimensionals. So I'm going to go one in each corner, one in the center, And then I like to press my fingernail into each one of those, and then that literally just pops up the edge of the dimensional, and you can just tear it right off. Super easy. Okay. And trying to center this as well. There we go. They're like peas and carrots. Exactly. All right, so then this is going to go in the center there. And then our little bird couple is going to go right here. And then we're going to add our sentiment piece. Something, this is what I was envisioning. So the tail feather of the bird is going to go behind my sentiment, but that the berries are going to be on top of the sentiment. That's kind of how I was thinking that out. And then, of course, my beautiful soft cording will go up there at the top in the little hole that the label has for us. I need to tighten that knot on that. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this with some dimensionals. I think I'm going to go with 4. And whoops, didn't quite get that one off. And we'll just do kind of stagger them a little bit. But yeah, look how easy that makes those things come off. And I know a lot of people take their pick tool and stuff, but I just don't have time to get that and find it, and I don't have time for that. Now I'm going to purposely kind of put this up a little higher than center, because that way I don't have to center it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's hard. All right, and then this little guy, we're just going to kind of glue across. Oh, which side did we think was better? I think it was this one was better. So we'll put the glue on this side. And I'm just going to kind of stick it in the middle because we don't need it to be on the ends. And I'm going to bring it up just a little bit so it kind of shows the bottom of the tag, because I do feel like that's kind of fun. A little bit of interest that tag has down there at the bottom. So we'll try to get that on. There we go. And then we'll tuck that under like that and that like that. And again, I'm just going to use my glue here on my little bird friends. And we'll just kind of tuck them something. Try to get them centered on the tag, a little bit. Something like that, I think, will work. Okay, and then we have our little foliage pieces. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want. I just thought they might be kind of fun tucked underneath here. Maybe they're not necessary. I don't know. And then, of course, it does cover up the fun of the tag, but I don't know. I thought that might be kind of fun. So I am going to go ahead and do it. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but I am going to snip off the ends of those so that I can get them tucked underneath easier. And we'll just add a little bit of glue to both of the ends. And I don't care if these are a little bit free falling, like if they're a little bit free. I don't know what the term is, I guess. But so they're not, so they just have a little bit of interest to them. Okay, of course we need to add our twine or our cording with a glue dot. So let's get the cording over here, get the glue dot. Now this glue dot is a little bit bigger than the knot of my cording, so I'm just going to use my fingernails to kind of push the glue dot to the back so that you can't see it. And then I'm just going to throw that up there in the opening of the tag. Something like that. Yay. Okay. Then for the inside, I just stamped the single bird and basically colored it the same as I did the birds on the front, but I forgot. I used light Lost Lagoon, and on this one I used the dark Lost Lagoon. I like it better with the light, so you might want to use light on your bird on the inside, or you can go dark. It's up to you, whatever you prefer, but I feel like I prefer the lighter crown of the bird's heads. Okay, so we're going to stick that inside, and this card, or this stamp set, doesn't have a lot of any sentiments. So I'm sure that you probably have some any sentiments in your arsenal that you could add to the inside if you needed to, or you could just use it to write a message. So anyways, there is card number 1, but I do need to add some gems. What did I do with them? Oh, here they are. Now here's something I did find about these gems. You can color them. So like these kind of rusty colored ones up here, I did color with some cherry cobbler. This is the kind of vanilla colored. I did a berry burst. And then down here, I did add some dark pretty peacock. So I kind of feel like that it would be fun to have dark gems. Oh, this one just keeps flying around here. It doesn't want to ever stay on the sheet. Get on there. So that one might not be stuck, so that might be too hard to color. Now, I have found that if you do color these, you do need to go over them a few times. Just kind of go back and forth on them, like kind of let it dry and then go back and add some more color. They will take the color. It's just it takes a little while for it to take the color. So a couple times is probably enough. And then you're still going to get the kind of shimmery effect of the facets on these gems. Even though they are colored, they still will have a little bit of shimmer to them. Okay, so let's get this one here. And I think I want to add it on my sentiment piece. Maybe right here. Maybe right here. We'll see. I'm going to not press down too hard because then if I want to move them out of the way. Did you see that thing jump? That was a little crazy. Oh, now it's stuck on my finger. Fantastic. And then I think I'm going to stick these up here on the label. Something like that. Actually, I'm going to move this. I don't like it right there. I'm going to stick it right here because I want to be able to see it. So there we go. Card number 1 finished. Let me know what you guys think. Ooh, here's something. This was my first vision of how to color the birds. But then I decided to use this designer series paper, and this, I mean, it would probably be okay, but I felt like I liked the Crumb Cake Peacock Lost Lagoon thing better than the Lost Lagoon and the, what was this? This was, what the heck is that color called? Lemon something. What is it? Somebody help me out. Lemon Lolly. Gosh, I'm thinking of lemon pie. That was the only thing I could think of. And then I did the berries in red. So I do like this, but I liked this a little bit better with the paper that I chose. So there we go. Okay, let's get our blends out of the way. Scooch out some more of this stuff so we have a little room to work in, because I like room to work in. And then we will bring in card number 2. Okay, so card number 2, I used the same paper packet for card number 2. Oh, that's what that was. I had a square of white cardstock sitting here on my desk right before I went live. Oh, that's not the right size. I have to cut a piece of paper because I don't have the right size. Anyway, I used the same paper package for this card as well. Okay, so there's some pieces and parts. I need to cut myself a piece of white that is 3.5 square. So let me get a piece of white and trim it down to 3.5. There's 3.5 on that side. Okay. So for this card, what we have is an early espresso card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. You can see I've already got the inside, but the white layer for the inside, 4 by 5.25. The designer series paper. Now this paper is only single-sided, so just so you're aware of that. This is a 4 by 4, and then my piece of white here is a 3.5 by 3.5. You're also going to get the other pattern in that paper pack as a 1/2 by 5.25, a 1/2 by 5.25 of cherry cobbler, a scrap of mossy meadow for some die cutting. And I just found some more of this adhesive backed glimmer paper in my stash of stuff. And you're going to get some of that too, because we're going to need to do a little bit of die cutting out of that. So what we have here are, you're going to need these 2 little gold pieces out of this self-adhesive paper. Then we're going to need some Mossy Meadow ink on our Mossy Meadow scrap. So we're going to ink up this little, I think these are pussy willows. I think, I'm not positive, but I think they are. So we're going to get 2 little pussy willows stamped there. And then there is a die in the set that will cut those out. So we will have both of those done. Put that off to the side so I don't stick my hand on it or something. And then for the inside, you can sort of see what I've already done here. I have taken the large wreath piece, or half wreath, I guess it is, and I inked up both sides. So I inked up this side here, and I kind of stamped it right here, so about halfway, and then I inked up this side and did the same thing and stamped it over on the other side. So I have kind of, you know, a little bit of wreath action there. And then I just colored the big leaves with a light mossy meadow marker and then the little berries with light and dark cherry cobbler. And so then what we're going to do for this inside piece, our inside layer, is we're going to add a little bit of glue to this strip of cherry cobbler. Whoa, I am flicking things all over the place. And then I'm going to add my strip of designer series paper. So we're going to have, I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch of the cherry cobbler showing, just, whatever you decide you like. Put those together. I haven't even been looking at the comments. Oh my gosh, does anybody have any questions? You guys are really good about helping people. So hopefully nobody's asked any questions that I missed. I don't think so. I just scrolled back. So I don't think so. Looks like my paper is a little longer, but that's okay. So then we're going to add a little glue at the bottom here. And then I'm going to add my designer series paper right at the bottom. And then I will have a little accent with the cherry cobbler also on that. So push that down so it's right at the bottom of the layer. Come on. And then that. And then we can snip off any excess, which I think I should have scooched it over a tiny bit, but I didn't. So we are going to cut off a tiny bit of that side and then a tiny bit of that side. And so that is going to be our inside piece. So I think that the designer series paper paired with the cherry cobbler strip, that really adds some to the inside, I feel like. Even if you don't put anything else inside your card, if you did something like that, that's kind of a wow factor, I feel like. Okay, so then on this piece of white, we're going to use our wreath piece. And I'm going to stamp that in some memento, but that is not my good memento pad. Hold on, here we go. So we're going to ink it up twice and stamp it twice. So get that nice and inky. And then I got to bring it down just a skosh so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm kind of trying to line it up at the top and side to side so there's like equal distance on all sides. Okay, and then we're going to do that again. So we'll bring in our ink and our stamp. And I like to ink this. This is a bit of a larger stamp, so I like to place it rubber side up and then ink it up that way. For me, it's just easier. And then we'll do that same thing, just kind of line it up at the top and from side to side and stamp that one more time. And so then we've kind of completed a full wreath in a sense, and now we can just color it. And now this is also one that I'm not going to go too crazy on coloring all of it, but I'm going to use the light Mossy Meadow, and I'm only going to color in the large leaves. So any of these little skinny leaves for this project, I am not going to color. So I'm only going to color in these larger ones. And if I leave a little bit of white space, I'm not going to be upset about it. We're just going to go with it. These leaves are kind of fun. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, did you guys know? Don't spoil it for me, but we just purchased a subscription to Hulu so I can watch Only Murders in the Building because their final episode of season 4 aired on Tuesday. And so my husband and I started watching it last night. So I'm very excited. We watched 2 episodes and now we'll have to wait because he's working now from like 7 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night for the next 3 days. So we'll have to wait until he's off again to watch some more. But I'm so excited. Just in 2 episodes, I'm just loving it so much. I think whoever decided to pair Selena Gomez with Steve Martin and Martin Short, brilliance. Complete brilliance. I love the 3 of them together. So anyways, yeah, I'm super excited to get through that. So please don't spoil it for me. If you've already seen it, you can say if you love it or not. And if it's something that you haven't watched yet, I highly, highly recommend it. There is some inappropriate language. If you're not a fan of inappropriate language, then you might not appreciate it. But if you can get over the inappropriate language, it's just amazing. I love that show so much. Okay, so now I'm going to take the dark and light cherry cobblers and we're going to do the berries. And so I'm going to do some berries light, some berries dark, just to kind of switch it up a little bit here. And then we'll come back in and use the dark to finish off whatever we have missed. Okay. Get those. Oh, there's a football game on tonight. That's what I'm going to do since my husband's not here. I mean, he would watch it with me if he was here, but he's not. So I will watch the football game while I'm in here doing a little bit of work. That always makes me happy. I don't even know who's playing tonight. Does anybody know who's playing? Trish says she hasn't watched it yet, and Francie says she loves that show. It is, you guys, seriously, if you haven't watched it, it is such a good show. The acting is superb. And in like season, I think last season, they had a lot of like famous, guest stars on there. Paul Rudd was on there. Oh gosh, who is the gal with the long hair? Meryl Streep, and some other people. So yeah, it's definitely a really funny show. So check it out if you have not. All right, so I am getting through this. My coloring, again, skills are, there leaves a lot to be desired. But we're gonna persevere through our bad coloring skills. Okay, we're gonna come around here and get that, and I think I've gotten them all. Okay, so we have that. So we've got all this done so far. We've got our little die cut pieces. We do need a sentiment strip. So you're going to get a half by, what length is this? This is a half by something. I think it's 3. Yes, it's a half by 3 to do a sentiment on. Now you can do whatever you want, obviously. But here are some suggestions from me. So in this stamp set, there is a stamp that says, thinking of you always. Now that is a very nice sentiment. I don't want to put the always on my card. So if I was going to do this, I would mask off always, and then I would ink this up in some early espresso, and I would stamp it. I need to, whoops. This G hanging down is a bit of a bugger, but it works. So I need some scissors. So you just want to make sure that you're not covering up the thinking, but you want to cover up the always. Okay. There we go. So then what I would do is I would ink this up in the early espresso and make sure that it's nice and inky. And then you really need to be mindful of removing the tape. I've done it before where I didn't remove the tape. It doesn't work out nearly as well. In fact, I have it over here and I'll show you. Okay, so we're going to stamp this in the center of the strip as best we can, centering it like that. Or another recommendation for me to you is Merry Christmas. And there is a really nice Merry Christmas in the greetings of the season, which a lot of you probably have this, or you probably have your own sentiments. So this could be a really nice Christmas card. So either way, this is what happens if you don't remove the tape. You stamp it and then you stamp the tape also. And then of course that's not the look we're going for. So definitely remove the tape. I need to put this tape in the trash. It's wanting to stick to me. Okay. So you could do thinking of you or Merry Christmas or any other little skinny sentiment that you had. But I think this is a great thinking of you or Christmas card. So I think I'm actually going to make mine. I think I'm going to go Christmas. Because the color combination, while it could definitely be used for anything else, it does, I guess, 'tis the season. And so it does kind of say Christmas to me a little bit. So we will go ahead and do that. All right. So we're going to add this to the edge of the card. So we're going to be centering it from top to bottom, and we want it to be equal distance on this side over here. So just a little bit different layout. And then we're going to add this piece, something like so. And I'm going to do that with some dimensionals. So let's get our dimensionals here. We'll go 1 in each corner and then 1 in the middle. Press a nail into that, and then these little guys literally just, the backing paper pops up and you can pull it off. Okay, so this is going to be centered from top to bottom, but then, wherever you want to put it. It could be, clear to the edge, it could be farther this way, whatever you want to do with it. Let me go ahead and throw this on the inside. And then you could add a nice innie sentiment to this as well, if you wanted to. There we go. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to peel the backing. Like I said, this is some of that older glimmer paper that we sold a while back. And I found some more of it. So I'm going to take my take your pick tool. I'm going to press this between my thumb and my first finger, and then I can just push my take your pick tool in there and it will kind of pull off that. So we're going to set this about like that, and then do this. And this designer series paper, I mean, I hadn't really even used it. Of course, I always buy everything that comes out because I'm kind of a crazy person, but I always buy all the papers. I don't always buy everything that the papers go with, like the papers, like certain collections go with certain papers. I don't always buy the collections, but I always buy all the paper. So, all right. So then these, unfortunately, are not self-adhesive. I guess they could be if I would have used adhesive sheets, but I didn't. And hopefully they will stick to the glimmer. They should, if we give it a second. Something like that. Okay. And then we're going to add our banner, like kind of across the middle of the thing here. So this is there's a lot of bulk here because I've got 4 pieces of paper stacked up. So I'm going to grab just a mini dimensional to put on the other end of that banner. Where are my mini dimensionals? Huh. Oh, here they are. They were upside down and they looked like a piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to add a mini dimensional to one end and then a little bit of glue to the other, and then this will stick to my banner pieces. So I'm going to try to center this, from top to bottom, not necessarily from side to side. Is that even, or does this need to be scooched down just a hair? Oops, that's way off. Let's try this. Something like that. Okay. Then I'm going to give you a little piece of our cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. So pretty. So tie a little bow with that. And then we're going to add that with a glue dot. And I'm going to add it just like right under the word Christmas here. Like that. Oh, love this card so much. Okay, now where's my gems? Now again, the gems can be colored. I did color some. Cherry cobbler here. This is a berry burst one, but I don't know as though I want to use that. Let me check and see what like just a plain one would look like here. If I just used some plains and we just kind of gently laid them down here. Maybe a big one. If we just I think they'll be all right because they're a little bit of a different color. They're kind of a little more like yellowy white, but I think they work. There we go. So look at that. So pretty. Now, like I said, you could use the Thinking of You and it would look just as amazing. Let's see, we can get our bow right up there. And either one, I think if you did use the Thinking of You, I'd probably move the bow up a little bit so it was not quite, so it would take up some of that white space. But again, you could use either or, and it would just be fantastic. So I'm going to go with the Merry Christmas. Okay, let me put some of this stuff away that I have over here. And then we will get our final bucket out here for our final project. I need to keep those close, the dimensionals, and probably, I guess I don't need a glue dot. I don't think I have any ribbon on my last card. Okay, so then for my last card, here is the pieces and parts. All right, so we've got a Berry Burst card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5. I've already colored the inside. I'll share that with you in a minute. This is 4 by 5.25. You're also going to get a piece of designer series paper. Now it's going to be either of these patterns, because I was talking with Kelly last night and I asked her, which one of these do you like better? She liked this one and I liked this one. So that tells me that they're both amazing, and it'll just be, it'll just be a surprise as to which one you get. Okay, so you'll get a piece of designer series paper. The designer series paper is measuring 3.5 by 5. You're also going to get a piece of white, and this is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and that is the perfect size for the large kind of pine boughy die cut. So you're going to center this die cut on your piece of white, and you're going to run that through. And I like to use Post-it tape to keep that in place. Some of you might use washi tape or something else, painter's tape, whatever. But I do like to use some tape of some sort to kind of prevent this from shifting when it goes through my machine. So you'll do that, and you'll end up with this. And then you're going to end up with the inside piece of that as well. You don't want to necessarily throw this away. And I'm going to show you why. It's not part of this card, but I'm going to show you what you can do with it, which is kind of cool. So here is a piece of white. And I took this centerpiece here and I laid it in the middle of this piece of white. Now this piece of white, I think is 4 by 5 1/4. Yes, so this is your standard layer of white. So I laid that here. You could use pixie spray or a little bit of adhesive if you needed to. But then I used a blending brush and some garden green ink, and I blended all around the whole thing. Then I rotated it 180 degrees, added it back down, and I blended again with the same color, but a little lighter. So this is what you get. So then you can actually just use this also, maybe put some birds on the front of it, add it to a card base, and you'll have another card. So this won't be included in your kit, but I'm sure all of you have some white cardstock, but you will get this piece when you die cut the big pine bough image. So there you go. Okay. Then we also need some scraps of white. So we've got scrap of white here, scrap of white here. And then you're going to get a little strip of white. This little piece here measures 1 by 1 3/4. And then you're also going to get a little 1 by 3/4 inch piece of white. And we're going to end up layering these together, something like that. Okay, so we have a bird, single bird stamped on a piece of white. This one we are going to ink up the pine bough, kind of, not really a pine bough because it's not pine, but this little wreathy piece. It looks piney, but it's not. All right, so we're going to do that. I need to move that down because I have a bump in my table right here. So we've got both of those things. All right, and then we have some Berry Burst. And we're going to stamp our sentiments in Berry Burst. But this says, sending thanks and much love. But for the front of the card, whoops, that's not long enough. I only wanted to say sending thanks. So I'm going to mask off the so much love, and I'm going to ink that up in some Berry Burst. Kind of rotating it around because my pad's like unevenly inked for some reason. All right, and then we're going to stamp this, and it should fit right on there. So I'm doing it, close to the top. Oh, that's crooked. Hold on. We're going to try that again. I'm going to put my tape back down. I need a scrap of white. Here, I'll use this little guy because I don't want to touch that with my hand, because it'll get all inky. But we're going to try this one more time and see if we can get a little bit better, a little less crooked. Okay. All right. Again, super important, removing of the tape. Okay, we're going to try that again. How about that? Much, much better. Yay. Okay, let me get rid of this tape. And then this piece, we're going to adhere to this little strip of Pool Party. I think I said it was Pool Party. I might not have. This is Pool Party. It's about a 3/4 inch by 1. I'm just going to add a little ink to that. And then we're going to use the end of this white onto our Pool Party. This just kind of gives this little strip just a little something. Sometimes you just need a little something at the end of your strips of sentiments so that they kind of pop a little bit off of your card. And this is one of those times. There we go. Okay, so now we need to color the bird and our wreath. So let me bring my bird in here. And for this bird, we are going to use some Pool Party. This is light Pool Party. And we also need some yellow. some yellow. Okay, so we're going to start with our light pool party. Ugh. And I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did on that first card, where I'm going to kind of go around the bird's head and maybe just a little bit down on the back of its neck a little bit. And then a little bit right here. Okay. Then I'm going to come over and I'm going to do most of the wing and then the tail feathers, something like so. And then I'm going to bring in my light lemon lolly. You know what? I see a little black spot on this bird. And so I'm going to bring in a sand eraser, and I'm going to try to get some of that off. I must have caught a little bit of the center of the bird, and I must have got it black. So let me just kind of rub that off a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now light lemon lolly. And I am going to kind of come around this bird's belly, something like this. Like so. And then I'm going to bring in my my dark lemon lolly, excuse me. And I'm going to do the same thing, but just not quite as far out. So it's going to be a little bit lighter here and then a little bit darker coming in. All right. And then finally, I've got a dark daffodil delight. And we're going to kind of go right through the middle. And this actually, just because of how yellow the lemon lolly is, this almost looks a little orangish, I feel like, which I think is kind of cool. So something along those lines. And then the beak is going to be is this dark smoky slate. So we'll just do the beak here. There we go. And then we have our berries, and our berries are going to be berry burst. This is light, I think. Yes. Light. And in case you guys were wondering, I do have labels on, I have them on one end. You could totally put them on both. But I have labels on one end of my blend so that as they're sitting in my my blend storage up here from Stampin' Up, I can see what color they are just by looking at the end cap. And I do have these available for free on my blog, this download. The description is in the video. The link is in the description of this video that will take you to my blog store, and you can download these for free. I've got a couple other free downloads on there, and I honestly can't even remember what they are, but there are some free things there. If you don't remember to look in the link, it's barbstamps.com/shop is my blog store, and you'll find these on there for free. Okay, that's all we're going to do on the bird. And now we're going to bring in the wreath, and we're going to do the berries. And I'm going to do, I think I did them all light. And then I'm going to come back and kind of do the olive pit with the dark. That's just funny. They just remind me of olives. And I don't even like olives. My husband is the olive eater in this family. And he does like his olives. Only the black ones. And he likes to eat them whole or on things. Me and the kids, not so much. Okay. Then we're going to use the dark for the little olive pit here. Cheryl says the labels are great, and she's not wrong. So then after you download the labels and you print them off, you need like a little 3/8 inch circle punch, which you may have in your arsenal. Stampin' Up! Did have one previously. They don't have it anymore. If you don't have one, you can go to Amazon. I have a link on the document that you can go to Amazon and purchase one. Okay, so now I have two different colors here. I have Granny Apple Green Light and Lemon Lime. What the heck? It's a 3-word. Lemon Lime Twist. I just cannot think of what these colors are today. Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green. So I have the lights of both, and we're going to do the leaves. And now we are going to do all the leaves on this one. So I'm just using kind of a light touch so I can get just the tip of this bullet point marker here to get in there and just get those little guys. And then these larger leaves, I'm kind of doing partial coloring on them, because I'm going to come back and hit these with the Granny Apple Green to kind of finish them off. And that'll just give them a little more interest that way. So we'll get all these done with the lemon lime. And then, of course, after you color your beautiful masterpieces, then you're going to die cut them with the coordinating dies, which I have already done, but we're going to finish the coloring so you can kind of see what happens when we add the Granny Apple Green. It's just a little bit different shade of green, but I just feel like they do work together, just to add a little interest there. I'll kind of hold that up so you can sort of see what I mean if you can't tell from this far away. But you can kind of tell how the Granny Apple just gives a little, you know, a little extra fun, I suppose, to that, if you will. Okay, so then of course you're going to die cut both of them. Now this bird, I colored the branch, but after I put the card together, you don't need to color the branch because it's going to be hidden anyway. So you can do that if you'd like, but it is not necessary. Okay. So now we just need to do some assemblies. So, oh, here's my inside. I'll show you now. So I then cleaned off my sending thanks. I cleaned that off, and then I masked off the sending thanks, and I put "and much love" on the inside. So I did have an innie and an outie with this one stamp. Okay, so I'm going to use the kind of snow scene here, and I'm just going to add this by running a little bit of glue along the wide border here that goes all the way around. And my designer series paper is kind of like the perfect size to go back here. And then if you want, you can bring your glue, you know, down some of these pine fronds. No, that's not what they're called. Pine somethings. I don't know. Okay, so I'm doing this upside down. So this is glue side up, and then here's my paper. So then I can sort of make sure that I don't see any openings through, you know, the paper. And since the pattern on the paper isn't super, it's not critical that it's straight. This one might be a little more critical if you got this piece to make it straight, but this one certainly is not. So I'm not going to worry about that. And we'll do that. Okay. Oh, somebody's talking about some fun. Oh, Trish says she loves olives green or black, and so does Cheryl. She likes green olives in her beer. Interesting. I did not, that would never have dawned on me, but of course I don't like olives, and I don't drink beer, so that's probably why I don't do that. If I was going to drink, which is pretty rare, I kind of like foofy things. Like things that have very little alcohol but have lots of fruity flavor. That's my kind of drink. Usually it's blended also. Okay, so then this is going to go right in the center of our berry burst layer here, if we can get it. So it's top to bottom and side to side are not going to be the same amount of space because just the way the die is designed, it's a little longer than it is wide. So you're going to have a little more space on the sides than you will at the top. So don't worry about that. All right. Cheryl says she has to drink gluten-free beer. Oh, and it's not as good. God, I suppose it wouldn't be. All right, so I'm going to add my wreathy piece kind of at an angle, and then my bird is going to just tuck right underneath that. So this is how this is going to go, and then our little birdie will kind of sit up, I guess, straight. And then I'm going to add my little phrase down here. And you can sort of see why it's important to have that extra little piece of color. It just adds a little something to the edge there. So let me go ahead and add some glue to that. And I am purposely hanging this off the edge of the white just ever so slightly. Just so we have, like I said, that little bit of interest here, right? Okay. And so I'm going to do this on dimensionals. So I'm going to do a dimensional at the top of both of these. And again, we'll just kind of set it kind of at an angle. Yes, Judy, frozen mango margarita, bring it on. And then I can tuck him under, and then I'm just going to add a dimensional right here at the top of his head. And then we'll tuck his branch under there that we don't need. And then there he is sitting in his little wreath nest. So cute. Okay, then we need some gems. And this one, I don't know. I think I like the berry burst. I feel like the berry burst just kind of needs to be on there because then they'll actually like show up. You know what I'm saying? So if I stuck one berry burst gem there, and then we'll bring in some more berry burst, and we're going to do a little one, a small one, and then a large one. I love when our gems can be colored. I really find that fun because, you know, a lot of times you just want it to be a different color. And so this way you can do that. And again, I'm just going to kind of go over it twice just to kind of seal in that nice deep color. Give it a sec to dry. Maybe even blow on it. And then we're going to bring these little guys in. And I'm just going to set these right here in between the bird and the sentiment. Like so. Pretty. Okay, now we need to add our inside piece. So on the inside, I just stamped the partial wreath a few different ways. I kind of stamped it right here, as you would imagine, just right on the edge in the corner. But then I did come back in and stamp a little, get this in here before I can't think of what I'm doing. Okay, so I stamped the wreath just like you would think in here, and then I added just the tip of one of them. Oh, there's a gem stuck on my fingernail. That is really funny. This little guy does not want to stick. And then I added just the tip of this one right here to kind of get in that white space. And then this one, I just angled it out and up a little bit just so it looks a little bit different, even though it's the exact same stamp. And then, like I mentioned, then I did mask off the end much love and throw that in the center of that card as well. So there we go. There are our 3 cards for this week. I hope you guys like. You know what I forgot to do? I was going to add some Wink of Stella to the little olives. These little olive berries here, and I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do that right now. Just on, I'm not doing like the pit of the olive, just kind of on the outside of it, and then the other ones. There we go. So now it has even more shimmer. It's not really picking that up, but I can, oh, there we go, a little bit. I can see it. So there we go. 3 cards. And again, like I said, if you place a $50 or more order in my online store between now and next Wednesday, which I believe is the 6th of November, then I will gift you with a kit to make all these cards. If your order is $75, then I will also give you the gems. And if it's over $150, please don't use the code and take the Stampin' Rewards for yourself. You will still get the gems and the card kit. So thank you guys so much for stamping with me tonight. I appreciate it. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. That really helps my channel. And if you want to subscribe to know when I'm live or when I post videos, there should be a little subscribe button down here somewhere you can click on. And that would also really help me out a lot. So just so you know, I try to use all the dies and all the stamps whenever I do these classes. And I did use all the stamps. I used all the dies but one. I did not use this little sticky branch thing here, but I used everything else. So you get a wide variety of stuff with my kits, and I hope you guys enjoy that. So thanks again for watching me. I'm going to go watch some football and have some dinner, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.